Starting Tech News Weekly in 3, 2, 1.
Hey everybody, welcome to Tech News Weekly. I'm Andrew Zarin. Of course, I'm joined by John Bubb as I meet you every week. How you doing, John?
I'm doing good. How about you, Andrew?
Doing excellent. Enjoying my day today. You know, I've started the IAIB Spotlight again, so I start my shows at noon here on the East Coast, and I'll be on the air till about 10 o'clock tonight. So it's going to be a long day, but I'm in a good mood today, surprisingly.
Oh well, hopefully you'll have time to go to press.
No, I'm not going today.
No?
Diana's not there. No, it's Friday. I don't go on Fridays.
Oh, I see. So you only go there when Diana's there.
I go there when Diana or Steve are there. So I go Saturdays, I go Sundays, I go Mondays, I go Tuesdays. I don't go on Wednesday, and I go on Thursday nights. So no, we're staying in tonight. I don't like going out on Friday nights. It's amateur hour. A lot of crazies go out on Friday night. Let me give you guys a little tip.
Have fun.
If you want to go out, Thursday nights are really busy. Thursday night is a good night to go out. But if you really want to go out on a Tuesday night. That's my Friday night for me, is a Tuesday night. Little tip here from Andrew Zarin. Giving away tips right now. Let's go into some news, John, because a lot, it's interesting this summer how it works. But this one was a big story for me, and we'll go into why this is a interesting story. Verizon Fios gets a speed boost. Now, Fios has tremendous internet speeds. This is something that most people don't have, is Fios speeds. When I originally got Fios in 2009, I had 25 by 25. And you're going back 5 years. So I've always had really good speed with Verizon. Well, they've given it a speed boost. My speed prior to this was 150 by 75, and then I had a 50 by 50 line. The 150, everything now is symmetrical. So there's no more fluctuations in upload and download, it's the way that it should be, really. It's nutty, this whole like 150 by 5, or how some of the other ISPs are doing.
More people can upload copyrighted content illegally.
Yes, that's
so we shouldn't give them faster upload speed.
According to them,
people will just use it and use it for illegal reasons. That's the only reason why you would want something that would go that fast, right?
Yeah, I mean, what else are you going to do, right? If you have upload speed,
right?
You're either watching Netflix or you're illegally uploading content.
So, yeah, because nobody would upload videos that are high quality to YouTube that are several gigabytes that you would actually want to use a fast connection for.
Yeah. So Verizon, on the other hand, has always been, they really don't care what you do unless you're doing an FTP, which is a whole separate issue that I have. But they updated all their speeds where everything is symmetrical. So now you get anything from 25 by 25 to 500 by 500. It's unbelievable. Right now, they upgraded me to 150 by 150. But the bigger story here is how easy it was to upgrade you. And the fact that, and it just proves that updating people's speeds for these ISPs, it's really no big deal. I mean, people across the street that have Time Warner have 25 by 5. And that is the highest that they could get. I think they could probably get like 100 by 5, but 5 megabits is the highest upload speed that they could possibly get with Time Warner.
AT&T Universe or whatever it is, Uverse is the same way here, where the max I can get is like, I think it was like 25 or 28 down and 5 up, and I'm like, seriously, that's the best you can offer me?
Someone said,
as much as people dislike Comcast, at least Comcast has fast speeds.
Yeah. Well, someone said something interesting. He goes, all they got to do is flip a switch. I think it's even simpler than flipping a switch. All I had to do was say, yes, I want the higher speed. And within 3 minutes, they doubled my bandwidth.
You had to sign up for the rewards.
Yeah, so all you do is like say, yes,
New customers are getting it, and existing customers have to sign up for the rewards.
Yeah, My Rewards Plus, which is a free program. It's nothing really. All you have to do is give them your birth date, and that's it. And boom, miraculously, you have double the speed. And this story shows how simple it is for the ISPs to provide you with faster speeds. It's not going to...
The technology is there. DOCSIS 3.0 will have speeds that go insanely fast. So if you're on a cable modem with DOCSIS 3.0, you're able to get those kinds of speeds, no problem. It's the limiting factor is the cable company itself.
Yeah. GFQ Viewer 3710 brought up an interesting point. He goes, if it was a big deal, they would have charged you for it. And they're not charging you for this.
I wonder if this has anything to do with Google Fiber at all.
Yeah, you know what's interesting? I'm curious if they know something we don't, like fiber got approved in more places, or they're about to get approved in more places, that is Verizon territory. And the Verizon territory really is not that much. They really don't have a large, market grip on bandwidth here in the U.S. because they did that weird deal with Comcast and Time Warner where they said, listen, we're not going to expand anymore if you give us spectrum. So they traded essentially for spectrum, and they said, listen, for Verizon stores, if we're in your market, we'll sell your internet service. And
I would gladly pay $100 a month if my speed was 150 by 150.
But I'm not even paying that. I pay $69 a month.
That's insane.
I'm paying $69 a month. I pay the same amount actually for my 75 by 75 because it's without a bundled plan. So I think I'm paying like $80 for that, but it's not bundled.
Still, even $80.
Even $80.
Like I said, I'd pay upwards of $100 a month for something like that.
But it's very competitive. I mean, they're half a gigabit now. You could get half a gigabit from Verizon Fios, 500 by 500. On their highest plan, I think it's like $300. I think it's $300 for that plan. But really, it's unbelievable the speed increase that they're giving. Good for Verizon. I'm glad that they're doing that. Why don't you go into something?
Yeah, of course you are, because you actually have it.
Yeah.
You're one of the actual few Verizon Fios customers that can take advantage of this.
I don't know if I could do this network.
By the way, I love the fact that on your speed test, it says 99% faster than everybody in the United States.
Oh, you did it?
No, I have your link, and it said that it was faster than 99.9% of the United States. I'm like, that's crazy.
Oh, the one that I posted. That's actually really funny. I didn't even see that. Oh, you posted in the chat?
Yeah, if you look, grade A+, faster than 99% of US.
Wow, that's actually crazy. I never even saw that. And do you see what my ping is?
Yeah.
My ping is 4 milliseconds. I mean, it's astonishing, this connection that I have. Kings will pay for this. Why don't you go through a story, John?
I mentioned YouTube earlier, and this is kind of an interesting story and somewhat sad. YouTube star Michelle Phan, which has a popular YouTube channel, she does makeup tutorials, and in her videos, she has background music that she uses. Most of them are from a record label called Ultra, which does a lot of electronic dance music. Deadmau5, Cascade, you might have heard of those two. And they are suing her for copyright infringement for using those music tracks in her videos as background music.
Interesting.
They're suing her for 50 tracks at, get this, the astonishing rate of $150,000 per track.
Wow. So
however,
what is making them go after her?
Popularity, I guess.
Yeah.
Nobody really knows, because apparently, according to her and her spokesperson, she had permission from the record label itself to use these tracks in her videos. So why they decided to sue her makes absolutely no sense, because according to them, they had permission to use this. So if they have permission, why are they being sued?
That is interesting. Why are they suing her if she had permission? I wonder if it's like a deal gone bad. You know, that it's possible that they had some sort of agreement put in place. They wanted something more. She said no, and they said, well, if you don't, then you have to take everything down. She said, no, I'm not going to take everything down. And they said, well, we're going to sue you then.
The article, I guess part of it, Ultra says that she's profited from its artist music because she's a YouTube star, and she's gained fame on the website, eventually leading to lucrative deals from cosmetic companies such as Lancome and L'Oreal.
Yeah, but now they're going to have to prove that the music was the purpose for her gains, that she was able to accomplish those gains by having the music. The music played a part in it. That will have to be proven.
I think that's a stretch right there.
And that damages were shown.
The claim that her success is due specifically because of the background music in her videos.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I read the story and I was trying to figure out why her. And when I saw that she was given permission from the record label, that to me showed, and I'm not saying that this is just, if I were to take a wild guess on why they're targeting her, I think there possibly could have been something else in place between her and that record label. I mean,
either way, it looks really bad on them wanting to sue her for 50 tracks at $150,000 per track.
And so we're going to see more of this. I'm telling you right now, this is going to be something we're going to start seeing a lot more of, where these independent.
Unfortunately, we had this precedent set by that Janny Thomas person that got sued, and apparently the court awarded the suit to the record label, and so they awarded damages of $150,000 per track.
And that's why they're doing that.
Legally downloading stuff.
We're going to see this happen more and more. I mean, YouTube is gaining popularity. It's not this small group of people doing this anymore. There are people making a tremendous amount of money on YouTube. And the reality is, sure, if you were getting 7 million viewers or a million viewers per episode, for example, of a television show, that television show will have to pay royalties on the music that they're playing. So why shouldn't the same standard exist for independent artists that are generating the same amount of viewers? I mean, I'm playing devil's advocate here, and that's the question. Why shouldn't the record label charge for copyright or why shouldn't they be able to charge for their music and their content if they are as important as the television networks?
I don't think anybody is arguing that, though.
Yeah. Wow, I'm getting feedback.
I think what's outrageous is the amount of money that they won in damages, $150,000 per track.
Yeah, and
I think that's a little outrageous.
So, have they said what's the extent of this? I mean, how is there any update to the story other than just this?
That's all I've heard.
Yeah. This is actually, I'm curious to see what this leads to, because I mean, essentially, yeah, she did. If she didn't have a deal in place, then she did break, she is violating their terms of service, their copyright.
Yeah, she's but if they're also claiming that her success is due to that background music, yeah, I don't think they can win on that account.
Well, there's going to be a lot of things that they're going to have to prove, but if the precedence was set already, then it's going to be easy to prove it. But I am really curious about the fact that she had permission.
Yeah.
Like, that
by the way, there are artists on that record label that have actually come out on Twitter and said that they disagree with the record label's decision to use to sue her.
Yeah, but unfortunately, this doesn't matter what they think, because they don't even own the music. The record label owns it. So
that's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And I do hope that YouTube will help her fight this, because this is a little outrageous in my opinion. I mean, I understand that they have the right to sue. My problem is that when you sue for that kind of amount of money, if they are awarded that, it's something that's going to be crippling, even to somebody like her. That there's no way, because you're talking probably $3 million total.
Yeah.
And there's no way that she's making that much money.
Well, luckily for her, they're not going to get $3 million, because she's probably not making $3 million. So they're probably going to settle on something else. Yeah, they're probably going to settle on something else. Since we're talking about YouTube, it's just
ludicrous thinking of these record labels and movie companies that think their content or their copyright work is worth more than people can legitimately afford.
But John, listen, I could sue you for anything, and I could be awarded the settlement. I could be awarded anything, whatever. Let's say I sue you for $20 million. A court could award me $20 million. The odds are you will never pay me that $20 million. If you don't have that $20 million, it means nothing.
Right.
So essentially, if I don't have the money, you're not getting the money.
It makes them look completely unreasonable.
They've always been like this, the labels. They've always been like this. Let's talk about YouTube in another way. Let's talk about Google. So a couple months ago, we reported that Twitch, the popular gaming site, streaming site, was being sold to Google for $1 billion. Well, it's coming out that, yes, it is happening. They are
it's
acquiring
just more reports that it is happening.
But it's essentially a done deal.
Confirmed it, but we haven't seen anybody else confirm that it's a done deal.
Yeah.
Just VentureBeat has been reporting that, and we don't, because that's the only source that's confirming it. I don't know that we can necessarily call this yet, other than just yet more rumors.
Yeah, and the bigger story here is what happens to Justin TV, which nobody is talking about. Does Justin TV go over?
Dead.
I mean, do they kill Justin TV? Is that it?
I don't think Google would care.
Well, if they're buying Twitch, they're also buying the technology, they're buying the servers, they're acquiring the entire company. Therefore, they're acquiring Justin.
Yeah, but they're going to obviously incorporate this into YouTube. So they already have their own live streaming platform. They're not really going to call it Justin TV. They're not going to really...
Well, from what I read...
Justin TV.
Well, from what I read for Twitch, they are keeping it as a separate brand. It's not being absorbed by YouTube. It's going to be just like how Google acquired YouTube. It's going to be YouTube for everything, and for the gaming stuff, it's going to be Twitch, which is fine. That's okay. But a lot of people are worried. A lot of Twitch gamers are worried about the copyright on video, the copyright on music, the ad payout, because the ad payout on Twitch is much better than what Google's going to be offering you. So there's a lot of this stuff that's going to play a huge part in the service. But, there's always room to grow. And if people don't like it, someone's going to create a new service and they're going to go over there. And that's just how it works. But I'm curious on what happens to Justin TV if they acquire him. And I mean, really, there's no money in Justin. There's no money in Justin. There's
not a lot of money in this stuff, period.
No, Twitch is valuable because of all the gaming and all the content partners that they have.
I don't understand that whatsoever. I really don't.
There's a lot of money in it.
Why is Twitch more valuable?
Because they generate...
Why is the gaming stuff more valuable? Because personally, I don't see any interesting parts of Twitch. I never go to Twitch. I would never use Twitch. I have absolutely no interest in watching people play a freaking game for 2 freaking hours.
See, I don't either, but apparently people do. And
those people
it's long-term viewership. It's long-term
I'm sorry,
viewership.
but that's just a waste of your freaking life to sit there for 2 hours watching somebody else play a damn game.
You're not even playing it.
No, that's my point. You're not. I can understand if you're the one playing it, but if you're just watching them play it, that's just weird.
Yeah, it's like, you know what it's like? That bad friend that you have, like he invites you over to play a new game, and all he does is he has one controller and it makes you watch him play. That's what this is like. It's like that awful friend that you had when you were a kid. He's like, hey, I got the new Super Mario Brothers. You want to come over? Yeah, sure. And then you go over. He's like, you want to play? I'm like, yeah. And then he's like, okay, watch. And I sit there and I watch him play for 2.5 hours until my mother picks me up. Never lets you play. Awful. That was my childhood with my cousin. My cousin would invite me over. My cousin invented Twitch, essentially. At the age of 9. He invented this service.
I have absolutely no interest in Twitch. And I think the whole thing is just bonkers.
I mean, it's amazing. What's amazing to me is the evaluation of the value of this company. I mean, there's
no way it's really worth $1 billion.
I mean, they're valuing it at $1 billion. I mean, Facebook got yesterday after the earnings report. They reported them the earnings. It's $1 billion. $190 billion for Facebook.
Yeah, that's insane.
I mean, you think about this company and you think about how much revenue they're generating and how much they've generated over the last couple of years. This has become a $200 billion company. That is insane.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about this because in a way, I don't think Facebook has been doing quite as well as they have in the past, whereby they just don't have the same popularity that they once had. Where Facebook was a very hyped company, and now Facebook is just another one of those internet companies that's one of the popular ones, but
nothing has taken over their positioning,
no,
and I don't think anything will.
but they haven't also done a great job as of late either. That whole Facebook home debacle, the Facebook phone thing was a debacle.
Did they kill that? Is Facebook Home dead?
Honestly, I don't know.
I don't know anyone that uses it, really. It's really become one of the services where there was a lot of hype, and what was it, a million downloads within the first day or 2 days? And after that, I mean, that's the thing. People download, they try, and they forget about it, and they put it away. It's not a useful function, but I don't think that you're going to see a lot of companies catching up to them. Their reach is humongous. I mean, they've really become just a directory of people at this point.
You know what they've done is they've shifted so much away from serving users to serving advertising.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the part of the problem that I have with Facebook is that they've made such a shift away from actually caring about Facebook users, whereas they just care about how the heck can we get you more ads.
I'll give an example. The other day, Jessica was on Facebook, and she saw an ad for Red Mango, the frozen yogurt shop. And it said, Andrew Zeri, your friend Andrew liked this article. I never liked the article. But it was an ad. It wasn't like a real article. It was like an ad article about how great Red Mango is. But I never liked it. It says, two of your friends, including Andrew Zarian, have liked this article. I never liked it. I think that's pretty... That I don't think I ever did. But it's pretty misleading when it says that I've liked it. But it's an ad. It's an obvious ad. It's not an article. But, I mean, that's pretty misleading. I never liked it.
Yeah.
But you're right. They are an ad company now. Much like Google. Google's an ad company, too.
I think they still at least are making products that people want, though. I mean, they've really improved Google Docs over the last couple of years since they started Google Docs. Whereas Facebook just seems like they're just trying anything and everything to get you more ads in front of you.
Yeah. By the way,
that's
Twitch,
their sole purpose. It's Facebook is trying to give you more ways to get ads in front of your face, which is a little annoying. It's like, really, your sole purpose is to put ads in front of me. And I understand that that's the way this works, but it seems like that's their only purpose at this point. Whereas I'd like them to actually focus a little bit more on some usability and features.
So Bruce put something interesting in the chat. He goes, Twitch is a fourth largest site for internet traffic during peak hours. I'm not surprised about that. It's behind Netflix, Google, and you know what the other one is? Apple. What is Apple doing to generate so much traffic?
iTunes.
Is that what it is? Are we talking about iTunes?
I'm just guessing.
Yeah, I would imagine. Okay, so then that makes a lot of sense. I just envision people just refreshing the Apple website over and over again. Oh, is there a new MacBook Pro this week? Talking about Apple.
If they're downloading TV shows and whatnot.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Apple reportedly releasing OS X Yosemite in October alongside a 4K desktop and a 12-inch Retina MacBook. This was being reported by 9to5Mac.
One of the guys on 9to5Mac.
We're going to see Apple will be releasing a 12-inch Retina display MacBook and either an iMac or standalone monitor with 4K. Now, I'm a little confused at this article. 12-inch MacBook, meaning what? A MacBook Air? A MacBook Pro? A MacBook? What does this mean?
It doesn't say.
Yeah, and I saw this article, and it bothered me because I don't understand what this means. Does this mean... It would make a lot of sense if you took the 11-inch MacBook Retina and you got rid of the bezels and you expanded the screen by an inch. That would make sense to me. And then you had it Retina. That would make sense to me. All this says is a MacBook. I don't know what that is. That was weird. What was that message?
Facebook.
That's so weird. So I don't know what this story means exactly. If you were to take a guess,
because it's still a rumor.
But if you were to take a guess, what product is this?
It's a MacBook product.
I don't know.
I don't know why you're so
because
by this.
I'll tell you why I'm boggled. You see these stories and you see these rumors most of the time, right? And they kind of are pretty specific. They go 12-inch MacBook Retina, 12-inch Retina MacBook Pro. That was one of the stories that I read. And all I could think of is, why would they introduce a 12-inch Retina MacBook Pro? That makes no sense because they have a 13-inch. But that makes no sense to me. They have a 13-inch MacBook Pro. Who would pick a 12-inch over the 13-inch?
Somebody that wanted something just a little bit smaller.
I mean, if you bumped everything up by an inch, then I could understand. The 11 becomes a 12, the 13 becomes a 14. That makes sense.
Maybe that's what they're doing.
I hope they are. But this story is so vague where it's like, oh, they're working on a 4K display and they got a 12-inch Retina screen.
That's the whole point of rumors.
It's such
to
BS.
Give you as little details about what actually could happen.
It's such a BS story.
Hey, look at our story. We're talking about 4K monitors.
Yeah,
it's a new MacBook, a Retina MacBook, because that's what is hot and everybody wants. So
it's such a weird story. Like, I would have thought the story would have been, if you want an accurate story, it would be Apple working on a Apple rumored 12-inch Retina display, and then you could speculate what you're going to use this on.
This goes back to what you and Paul Thurrott were talking about on Tuesday with What the Tech, and these articles, these bloggers that put out these articles that have absolutely nothing truthful about them.
Yeah, I mean the same story that I read about a 12-inch Retina MacBook. I also read the same thing about a 12-inch iPad Pro. I mean, it's essentially the same exact story that I read. So I just don't know what they're going to do. I'm hoping the story is that they're moving an inch. They're making everything an inch bigger because they're getting rid of the bezel and they're just expanding the screen a little bit in the same form factor. That would make me really happy. We could all use extra screen real estate on these things. But I don't, to introduce another MacBook for an inch, it's weird. It's a weird story.
They did make a very good point in the article, though, about the MacBook Air having still a very low resolution.
Yeah, and you know what sucks? My 13-inch MacBook Pro has a lower resolution than that. I have 1280 by 800. That's my screen res on this thing.
Oh, your screen is so small.
Yeah, it's awful. 1280 by 800, that's an awful resolution screen. Go into something, John. You pick something.
Well, this is kind of interesting. Netflix is introducing a privacy mode to keep your watching habits under wraps. This is a very interesting feature that they're rolling out just to a select few users, whereby anything that you watch in privacy mode means that viewed titles won't appear in the recently viewed section, and they won't factor into your future recommendations, which I find to be a very interesting feature that could be very useful to a lot of people.
So why would you want to keep it private? I'm just curious.
Let's say that you want to watch a show just to see what it's about, but you don't necessarily want it to affect the rest of your ratings and everything else that it suggests for you.
Baywatch.
Like, for example, I'll give you an example on my own Netflix. Yeah. I went on there and I watched the entire series of Weeds. I thought that was a pretty good show. However, I have absolutely no interest in any other weed-related program on Netflix.
So now it gets
That's ridiculous. So now it's telling me, hey, do you want to watch Doug Benson's Weed movie? Yeah. No, not really.
Yeah. Okay. So I get it now. Okay. So that makes sense. So you're getting like a bunch of marijuana documentaries.
Yes.
Yeah. You're getting Snoop Dogg's Up in Smoke tour.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm getting. I'm like, I don't really care to have a bunch of marijuana and weed documentaries start being suggested to me just because I watched a TV show about drugs.
Yeah. So I've, Jess and I share, obviously we have Netflix, so we all have different accounts, but I can't always select, like on Google TV, I cannot select which one is my account. So the entire suggestion is like suggestions for like a 14-year-old girl. Like it's like every show on the CW is being suggested to me. And you're right. I would like that. I would like to put it in privacy mode. Amazon.
I think it's a great feature.
Yeah.
I really do. The problem is that it's only rolling out to select users right now.
Okay. So Amazon Wallet, John, do you know much about this?
Not really.
I use
the fact that it's another digital wallet.
Okay, so I've been using when I was flying. I traveled a couple of weeks ago. I was using Amazon to pay for my internet usage, which was bizarre. The company didn't accept PayPal, but they accepted Amazon. So you would pay through Amazon, which was really weird. I've never experienced anything like this. So I was wondering if it's like the same thing, because I know Amazon is trying to get into the online payment service, which, what kind of makes sense for them. They have everybody's credit card account anyway. You have it on file, so why couldn't you log in with your Amazon account and just pay for something like that?
Yeah, but I also see this on the same lines of, well, hey, now we have a Kindle Fire tablet and we have a Kindle Fire phone. So, a Fire phone. So why wouldn't you want to just stay in the entire Amazon ecosystem with us?
Yeah, I mean, that's
we already have all your info.
By the way, is the phone out today? The Fire came out today.
I think it came out a couple days ago.
Did it? Okay. Which nobody cared about.
Not really.
Yeah, nobody cares about it.
All the reviews I read said to wait for a second gen.
I'm not a big fan of these like wallet services. I have been using Google Wallets, but again, I think it's pretty limited with what you can and can't do with Google Wallet. There's a lot of I can't switch on the fly which credit card I'm going to use. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
that's
you have to transfer money into the wallet in order to do it. You can't be like, okay, I'm going to use this card. Like the last time I used it, which was a couple months ago, that service did not exist. Maybe they added it, but it's stuff like that. Like I would love to have one card, and I just have everything on that one card, so I don't have to carry everything. And I just take my phone and I just select what kind of payment I'm going to use and just use it that way, rather than having to transfer the money in.
Yeah, and personally, I'm not a fan of these wallet services just because I don't want to just take my phone out and hand it to somebody to scan or whatever. I don't want anybody touching my phone.
Yeah. Well, no. You don't have to use your phone. Well, like with Google Wallet.
On some of them, yeah.
On some of them, yeah. Like Google Wallets, for example.
Because it also does all the loyalty cards.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hand the cashier at the grocery store my phone to scan my grocery store loyalty card.
Yeah, but what if you had like Google Wallets, for example, where you just hand them the Google Wallet card?
If I just hand them a Google Wallet card, that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't want to hand them my entire phone.
What was that card company that they announced something like Google Wallets like a while ago? Did that thing ever come out?
You're talking about. I don't remember what the name of it was.
I wonder if it ever came out. It was like something card.
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember the name. I can't remember, but that thing essentially would have done. It was like one mega card with everything on it, and you would just select in the software what you want.
Yeah, but it had its caveats too.
It had a lot of security issues. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what we're gonna do our picks now. A little quick show for everybody today. We're gonna do our picks of the week. This is a portion of the show where we talk about a product, a service, something that we all like. It doesn't matter. It could be anything. I almost did something really stupid. I almost picked some stupid product that I bought recently, but it was called Coin. Thank you, Brian. The service was called Coin, by the way. It's fall 2015. Is that what it is? Wow, so they delayed it. It was supposed to come out this year. So we do our picks. So I'm going to go first, John. I did the IIB Spotlight with Mike Phillips a little while ago. We were talking about Skype. We were talking about services that are like Skype. And one of the services that we spoke about was called Source Connect Now. Source Connect Now is it's like a Skype competitor, but it's WebRTC based, and the quality of the quality of the audio is unbelievable. You're able to do 128K audio. You could actually change what kind of level audio you want to do, but it's bi-directional. It's actually very high quality audio. We've been talking about somehow utilizing it here, but we can't because of the video that we do. You can't. They don't do video; they just do audio. But you can go to the website Source Connect now. I'm sorry, it's now.source-elements.com. It's a little convoluted of a URL, but it's free currently. They're going to be rolling out a price point later on, but if you do a podcast or if you want to try something other than Skype, this is a very good service to try, and it's web-based, so how could you go wrong? You don't have to install anything. 128K is free. You can go up to 512K for the paid account.
Wow.
Yeah, so they have a lot of options here, but give it a shot. It's pretty cool. I wouldn't mind trying it with you, John. I wouldn't mind trying it with you.
I don't know about that.
Why don't you like it?
I don't know if I want to try things with you.
Why?
I don't know. It just... That doesn't hit me right.
You don't like experimenting with me?
No.
We could be like college sorority sisters.
I'm too old for that crap.
What's your pick of the week?
All right, so this is something I actually saw on another show, DTNS. They were talking about hotelwifi-test.com, which is kind of cool. It's a crowdsourced website where it'll actually tell you what the speeds are at some of the popular hotels in New York, London, San Francisco, et cetera, et cetera. And you can actually add your own speed test. So if you're at a hotel and you want to add your own speed test from whatever hotel you're at, you can do that and help other people determine, what hotel has great Wi-Fi, because not every a lot of hotels will tell you we have Wi-Fi, we have free Wi-Fi, or we have paid Wi-Fi, but they don't necessarily have great Wi-Fi. There's been a lot of hotels that I've been at where the Wi-Fi and the internet speed was pretty much unusable.
Yes,
and so hopefully this website will help alleviate that problem for you if that's something that you really want to find a good hotel.
So here's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at New York, right? Here's New York. So here are the top speed hotels. So this one was doing 100 megabits. Da Vinci Hotel, Pod 39, New York Deluxe A. I don't know what that is. The Hilton Midtown 55. So the range was 33 to 70. Wyndham, the Best Western. That's funny. 50 megabits. I'm trying to find the Hudson. Because I stay there all the time. So, I mean, you could take a look at the hotels. I'll tell you something.
By the way, you do have to be careful on there that not all the hotels that they list have actual speed tests for them. They'll actually list the hotels and their suggested speeds, but they won't have any actual test from that hotel.
So the hotel that I go to, okay, I thought I had great speed at this hotel. Apparently, it has awful speed. It's ranked at 2.3 megs, ranging between 1.5 to 3. That's weird. I had phenomenal speeds there. Let's do Bryant Park Hotel because I've stayed there as well, and they had really good internet speeds. Yeah, so I don't know how accurate this is. That's actually really weird because, free Wi-Fi. Okay, so this is the free Wi-Fi. I stayed at the Bryant Park Hotel, and I had unbelievable speed. So I don't know if this is accurate, John.
I haven't necessarily tried it myself, so I don't know. I mean, I haven't stayed at a hotel since finding this website, so I couldn't tell you.
Okay, so you know what? I just stayed. Let's go to San Francisco. Let's go to San Francisco.
Throw up the screen.
Okay, there we go.
So we can see.
Okay, let's go to San Francisco. Let's go to the Ritz-Carlton. Because I had awful internet there. 10 megs. So I was getting much less than that. Oh, so no actual test took place.
Yeah, you have to actually look and see what it says, if it's got an actual speed test or not.
Okay, so, I mean, you play around with this, if anybody. But, again, it's a good range. It's a good way to measure what the internet's going to be at these hotels that you're staying at. Because for some of us, it's really important.
Nothing is worse than staying overnight at a hotel and it's just got completely unusable internet.
Yeah.
I've done that before, and it is not fun.
Yeah, no.
Like when the internet on your phone through Verizon LTE is better than the hotel.
That's not good.
That's just.
But you know
so
what, John? The odds are you're going to get much better LTE speed. In New York City, I'm getting 50 megs down and like 40 megs up with LTE, with XLTE.
Oh yeah, which is phenomenal. The problem is that most people have limited plans for their phone. So
that's something I don't know if I spoke about last week. I ran out of data.
Yeah.
I totally ran out of data. I have 10 gigs a month. And I ran out of the data. No idea how. So it just shows
a lot
you.
Of photos?
Yeah, I was. And I was connected to Wi-Fi majority of the time. Connected via LTE because the Wi-Fi was bad where I was. Yeah. But it just shows you you could go through data very quickly. Very, very quickly.
Yeah, especially if you're staying at a hotel overnight and you want to watch something online, like a video. It just goes so quickly.
Yeah. Good pick, John. That's a very good pick. I could actually use this, and I'm bookmarking it. Bookmark. Done. Look at that. You helped me out. Go to our website, gfqnetwork.com. Subscribe to the show. If you want to help us out, you can subscribe. Also, if you want to help us out, you could use our Amazon affiliate link. Every time you guys make a purchase, we get a tiny little credit. Couple percent here and there, but it goes a long way. You can do so by going to our contribute page, gfqnetwork.com/contribute, or you could go to gfq.co/Amazon and bookmark it. You know, when you go there, just bookmark it, and every time you guys make a purchase, we get a little credit. We're planning on doing some major upgrades to the studio in January. We're going to be redoing everything, so it's going to become one of those big projects again. And I want to buy everything on Amazon because I want to spend as little money as possible. Also, if you want to help us out, we have a Patreon campaign for What the Tech. Even though it's for What the Tech, we'll accept it for this show too. Every bit counts. Patreon.com/whatthetech is the page. We do bonus shows exclusively to Patreon members. And you can follow John on Twitter, Suncast on Twitter. I'm Andrew Zarian on Twitter, GFK Network on Twitter as well. Anything I'm forgetting, John?
I think that's pretty much it.
That's it, guys. We will see you all next week.